Redrick here, the mom strategist, and I'm excited about the scope. I am so excited about the scope. I'm going to be teaching today what you need to let go of this year. What do you need to let go of this year? Like, what is it that you need to let go of that's like in your way, Jason, that's stopping you, that's keeping you from where you want to be? I'm going to be breaking all of that down on the scope today. Do me a favor and share the scope. Let's go. Like, this is going to be one of those scopes that it's a growth scope, Jason. It's a growth scope. And, you know, I have written down 11 things that I want to share with you guys. These are things that you want to leave in 2016. You don't want to take these things with you into 2017. Latasha, you don't want to take these things into 2017. So I'm going to break these things down for you. I am Mia Redrick. I am the mom strategist, and I support clients with life and business success. You can always check me out at miaredrick.com. This is going to be a great scope, guys. I promise not to waste your time. Be sure to invite any friends that you know that there's something they need to let go of, right? They need to let it go in 2016 to set themselves up for success in 2017. I'm going to break those things down. I'm going to get started first off and just introduce myself. Hey, Marcy Lynn. I'm going to introduce myself. When I got started my business 13 years ago, all I really wanted to do, guys, was go to work as myself and combine my gifts, my talents as a corporate trainer, and my love of motherhood into a business. And I had no idea how to do that. I ended up working with a coach, and she was charging $1,000 an hour. I did not have $1,000. And I asked her, I said, what, I had $100. I said, what can I do for $100, right? Hey there, darling. And I had an awesome anniversary. And she said, thank you so much. I appreciate you so much, Aunt Marcy. And she said, well, you can, for $100 a month, for 10 minutes of my time, you have to sign an 18-month contract for 10 minutes of my time for $100 a month. And I did that, and it changed my life. Her model changed my life. Fast forward 5 months after that, I ended up signing up for a coaching program for about $2,500, and then it went on from there. And I just want to say that to those of you who are, you need to invest in yourselves and you struggle with it. I just want to break that down, that I did not have $1,000, but I had $100. And I also didn't expect someone that was successful in their business to take time out of their life, away from their family, she's married, and teach me what to do in my business to grow my life without an investment. And I also didn't expect to be, serious. For me, if I wasn't willing to sow a seed in my own growth, then why should anybody else, right? I'm just saying that, all right? So this is going to be a growth scope today. I'm going to be teaching you guys what to let go of in 2016. And, some of it is a little tough and some of it's a little straightforward, but I know that it's going to serve you guys to set you up for 2017 and on the right track. As a result of being a full-time entrepreneur for over 2 decades, my husband and I both are entrepreneurs. One of the greatest privileges to me is that I own my time. And so, I know a lot of entrepreneurs talk a great deal about hitting 6 figures and beyond, but very few do and have sustainable success in their business and or businesses. And one of the things, hey, Tommy, that I love about my business is that we've been full-time entrepreneurs. Yes, we've owned our time. Our kids have never seen us work a job. We've got an 18-year-old, a 15-year-old, and an 11-year-old. And this is all real, guys. And we've had sustainable success, which means we have solid models for success. And to me, that matters, right? And it's not a flash cash strategy. It's something that really works. And that's what I try to communicate with you guys. Thank you. On Periscope are the systems that I share with you or things that I've actually done, and it's real. And I believe that when you build your business, that it's important to understand that your life informs your business. See, as a result of being an entrepreneur and factoring my life, I had systems that gave me my time, that I always built my business that way. And when my husband developed kidney disease 7 years ago, I could be there for him, and I didn't have to be anywhere else because I didn't build a business with a model that required me to be anywhere else. And some of you guys need to hear that because you're building your businesses like a job, and you don't understand the difference because you've not seen a different model. But I literally built a business that allows me to be free. I work about 30 hours a month for a multiple 6-figure income in my coaching practice. And I love it. And I absolutely love it. I work with amazing people. I don't work typically during the day much. I work in the evening servicing my clients between 9 p.m. and midnight because that's my preference. And isn't it cool to be able to build a business based on how you want to live? And I also love being an entrepreneur because, education is very important to my husband and I, and we've been able to give our kids a world-class education. We've invested over $715,000 in tuition. And you know what? That's our choice. That's not for everyone, but that's, to me, one of the greatest blessings of being an entrepreneur. You can invest in your life, in your kids, in your seeds, any way that you choose to. And that's, to me, a great reason to be an entrepreneur. And I love being an entrepreneur because I get to date my husband in the middle of the day because we don't have bosses. We are the boss, all right? So I'm going to get started today. I'm going to be sharing what to let go of in 2016, and I'm really fired up about 2016 was an amazing year. And I'm so excited about 2017, but I also thought, you know what do people need to let go of? And there are just some things that are some big ahas for me. I hope this will support you. If you haven't shared this scope with anyone, please do. On Twitter, on Facebook, on Periscope, you can do it. If you're watching the replay, you can still share, all right? And I hope that you do. The first thing that you need to do, thank you so much, awesome, thank you, Marcy. The first thing that you need to do is you need to let go of believing that your success requires perfection. See, your success does not require perfection. Your success requires action. All right. And there are a lot of you who believe that. I mean, you're already ready. You're already at go. You can knock things out the park if you chose to. But the fact of the matter is you're believing that you need to have all of these things. It's all in your mind, lined up exactly right. Like that's a requirement in order for you to launch your dream or launch your programs or, you know what I mean, or launch that business you've been dreaming about. And the fact of the matter is success doesn't require perfection. It doesn't. It requires action. And what I found over the years coaching hundreds of clients is that the clients who implement more, they create results. And the people who have to line up all their Legos, hear me guys, line these things up perfectly, all right? These are the people who really do struggle tremendously in creating results because in your mind, you are held hostage by perfection. And it's not real. And you got to understand that illusion isn't real. Just because you believe that you need to be perfect to move forward doesn't mean that it's real, all right? It's just real to you, all right? And so the first thing that I'm going to suggest that you let go of in this upcoming year is understanding that perfection is not a requirement for your success, all right? In fact, for the most part, a lot of times we do things, and because we do things, we learn, we have an opportunity to learn from the things that didn't work. And we get to stand on those shoulders, as a result of our failures. Success is built on failures, not on success. And that's just the reality. I know a lot of people will spend a lot of time daydreaming and thinking about the perfect way to launch something, and they never move forward with their dream because they're trying to get it just right. Hey there, darling. Good to see you, all right? They're trying to get it just right, all right? So that perfection is not a requirement for success, all right? It is just not. The second thing that I want you to understand, and I want you to let go of in this upcoming year, is low vibration. All right, it's low vibration, and low vibration to me. I'm just going to read it here: pettiness, insecurity, judgment. You're not able to be teachable or coachable. You're not able to hear what people are saying who really care about you, that want you to tweak in your life. You're unable to hang with the greats. Like if you have to hang around people who are, in a way elevated or they have more success than you find yourself judging that experience or making people wrong. I just want to break it down because sometimes when you haven't yet done the work on yourself, you are suffering from low vibration, right? And so when you're around a situation or you're around people who are doing things that you want to do, hey Ruby, who are achieving things that you dream of, or maybe they don't look like you, you know what I mean? Maybe they don't talk like you, but the fact of the matter is you find yourself in a place where you suffer from insecurity, or you get real petty about things that don't matter, You become judgmental. And as a result of that experience, you know what? Hey there, darling. Hey, Regina. Good to see you on the scope. Welcome to the scope. I think you're going to love this today. All right. And as a result of that, you're suffering from low vibration. And I want to break that down. You need to leave that in 2016. I see it all the time. But the book I read says that God is no respecter of persons. And one of the things you got to understand, you got to get over yourself. And that's the reality. A lot of us, we kind of get twisted around things like that, and they keep us stuck. They keep us from working with people. Sometimes they keep us from seeking opportunities. They keep us from seeking mentorship, being able to listen, to be teachable, to be coachable because of our own low vibrations. And you need to do the work. And that is mindset work. It really is. Honestly, one of my favorite books ever is How to Win Friends and Influence People. It's a phenomenal book. It's a really basic book, very easy read, but it breaks down what you need to do in terms of how to relate to other people. And a lot of us don't realize that the reason your business didn't grow the way you wanted to grow, or isn't as twice as big or 3 times as big as you want it to be, is because in life you are dealing with people. Okay. And if you want to deal with people, you got to deal with people if you're selling, right? You've got to work on yourself to learn to love people and how to elevate people and not to judge people and not to be petty with people and not to be insecure as it relates to people. And I'm just breaking this down because the fact of the matter is you need to let this go in 2016 and make a decision to do the work on yourself so that you can attract all the things that you want. All right. And I want to say that to you. All right. It's just really important. Number three, the third thing that you need to let go in 2016 is believing that building your business like a job is where it's at. And a lot of you guys, you've not seen any other models that are time-rich models, that are freedom-based models. But I'm going to tell you, you need to spend some time with some mentors who are flat-free. And when you do, it will change your life. And I have the vast majority of entrepreneurs that I know work full-time. And they trade time for dollars. And a lot of times when you've been trading time for dollars, your mindset is that way. So when you go to set your business up, you set your business up the exact same way. You're used to trading time for dollars. But all you need to do is hang out with people, work with people who are free, mentor with people who are free, truly free, not people who tell you they're free and they're on the road 80, 90% of their year. That's not free, in my opinion. All right. I don't have judgment around it. But I'm talking about people that make their money passively. And one of the things you'll understand is what freedom really is. And freedom means that when you want to do something, you can do it. All right. And freedom means that, you know what, you don't have to do that. Like, I love to travel, but 15% of my year I travel in my business. I don't have to travel if I don't want to travel. And I like that option. And some of you guys want to be free, but the models that you have created for yourself or the models you've been most attracted to are not freedom based. And you need to let that go for 2016. If you think about the tools that are all around us now with live stream, hey there, Michelle, you think about live streaming, you think about, using ads and how social media works today. You can run a business all around the world. There really is no reason that you need to be hustling and grinding, and running all around to build a business. And if that's all you need different teachers in your world. I'm just telling you. All right. And a lot of you guys kind of get a glimpse of what it looks like, but because our natural default or our habits is to grind to make money, that's what we do, all right? But I'm telling you, there is a better way. And for 2016, you need to let that go. You need to understand that all of these tools that are available to you, and there's so many, whether we're talking about Periscope or Facebook Live or Instagram Live or using ads or, there's so many options for you to be free, right? You don't like hustling like that. But you know what? If your coaches, if your teachers, if your mentors hustle to make their money, you will too. All right. You will too. All right. Number four, what you need to let go of in this upcoming year is wanting to be convinced to be successful. I'm sorry if I hurt your feelings for this, but I want to be clear. Success is a decision, all right? And there are those of you who you want someone to convince you of what you need and when you need it and why you need it. And it just doesn't work like that. Jason, it doesn't work like that. See, every single time that I've decided that I wanted to move forward, I decided I wanted to move forward. Nobody convinced me. You know what? My coach Terry was the second most profitable coach in the country. She was free. She was a laptop entrepreneur. I didn't know anybody that was free. Let me just tell you, I did everything that I could to be around her, to learn from her. And I believe that's why I've been a full-time entrepreneur for over 2 decades, because I didn't need any convincing. You guys need to let go of this in 2016. A lot of you guys are waiting for someone to roll out a red carpet and tap you on your shoulder or wake you up as if you're a sleeping giant and say, now's the time. You got to make that decision that you are ready. And when you are ready, you know what I mean? Everything else is going to change. Nobody did that for me. And I just want to be clear about that. The fact of the matter is I was hungry for the change that I wanted. I wanted to be free. I wanted to be able to add value to my family financially. I did not want to have my income based on my ability to perform. I knew that. All right. And I decided to seek teachers out. All of my coaches have been full-time entrepreneurs. I've not worked with one coach that worked their business like a job, because I did not want that for myself. I don't have any judgment around it. I'm just saying that for me, what I wanted, I went after what I wanted. Nobody had to call me twice. Nobody had to remind me of anything. I didn't need any notes. I didn't need any reminders, because that's what I wanted for myself. That's what I was dreaming of when I woke up in the morning. That's what I thought about all day. And when I went to bed at night, that's what I thought of. And I decided that I would, for myself, invest in my solution. And as a result of that, I now am able to say I'm a full-time entrepreneur and I've not had a job. And the fact of the matter is I make a multiple 6-figure income passively from the comfort of my home. And most of you guys who've been watching me on Periscope, I'm home. I'm like home. I'm home. Okay. I'm not on the road. I'm not hustling. And I love what I get to do. And I work with great, amazing, brilliant people from my house. And that is the reality. All right. Now, number five thing you need to let go. You need to let go. Yes. My job is not my business. Favor for life. Okay. Number 5 is bad advice. All right. That means purchasing your fears and your lack. And I just want to say you need to let that go in 2016. It's very easy to do, because the thing is, if I'm speaking to your lack, if I talk about who you are right now, the money you don't have in the bank, the things that you don't get to do with your family, the tuition you don't get to pay, or the bills that you have, it's so easy to be able to relate to those things. But one of the things you got to understand is that in 2017, you're not going to your lack. You're going to where you want to be. And one of the things that's going to be very important for you is to be able to discern the difference. You need to understand the solution for where you want to be, not for where you were, the solution for where you want to be. So while it's great to be able to relate and hear things that address where you were, if that's not where you're going, then you know what? You need to leave that in 2016. And it is the reason why often people say to me over and over again, they invest in things and it didn't work for them and they can't figure out why it didn't work for them, because you were in a place where you were relating to who you are right now. See, one of the things that I did when I invested in my coach, I wasn't thinking about where I was. I was thinking about where I wanted to be. All right. And I was thinking about how I wanted to live. All right. And based on those things, that's how I decided how I wanted to invest. That's how I decided I wanted to live. I wanted to hang out with people who were free. I knew that if I hung out with people who were living in a way that I wanted to live, that I would be able to learn some things from them that would elevate how I thought, how I behaved, how I acted, how I invested, right? And I wasn't focused on what I couldn't do. I was focusing on where I wanted to be. And I do believe that that's been the differential for me to be able to achieve the results I have in my business. And is the reason why I haven't been one of those entrepreneurs that created 6 figures in their business like 1 year and then the next year had to go back to work or work part-time. I don't do that. I am a full-time entrepreneur and I'm very proud about it, and not from a perspective of like puffing my chest out or, having some ego around it, but you guys need to know the difference. And a lot of you guys don't understand. You don't understand the difference. All right. And it's just important for you this upcoming year to have that level of discernment. You need to let that go. Bad advice And you don't know you're getting bad advice if you're so stuck in your fears. If you're stuck in your lack, if you're judging yourself by that, then, you're judging yourself. And when someone talks about it, you know what? You're like, wow, that's me. That's not where you're going. All right. Think about where you are. Think about where you really want to be. And based on that, you need to hire someone that really supports you with your solution. Doesn't matter if it's me, it could be someone else, but you need to hire someone that represents a solution that you want. All right. The next thing, number 6, is trying to shortcut the shortcut. You need to let that go in 2016. So I know a lot of you guys, you've been reading a lot of books. You've been watching a lot of Periscopes. You know what? You've been buying a lot of webinars, $147, $47, $25. I don't know what you've been doing, okay? But I know it's a shortcut. And you know you need something different than that. And in 2016, you need to let that go because it didn't work for you. Look at your numbers right now, right? We're one day before the end of the year. It didn't work for you. And the reason it didn't work for you is because it was a shortcut. And one of the things I'm going to tell you is that every single solution that I've ever needed, I didn't invest in the shortcut, guys. I didn't invest I invested in my solution. I didn't, you know what I mean? I didn't say, no, this webinar is going to be the thing. If I counted the number of times when I do a consult with a potential client and they say to me, can you tell me, if I do this, will I in 30 days and 60 days be able to ... And I think, I don't know. I don't know if you'll be able to do that because I don't know if you're going to implement. I don't know if you're coachable. I don't know if you're teachable. I don't know if you'll do the work. Right, Shayla? Right? I don't know. I don't know if you're going to do what you need to do. But what I do commit to is giving you the information. And what you guys got to understand is that you cannot shortcut the shortcut. The shortcut is you got to do the work. You got to implement. You got to invest at a high level. You got to get around people who are in a position to change your life. You got to learn some things that are different than what you're hearing so that you can create a different result. And I will tell you, you will know it because when you're getting great advice, it bears fruit. All right. And sometimes it might be in your life, like maybe your life starts to look better, right? Or your perspective, your outlook looks better, your systems in your life look better. Or if it's in your business, you'll start to see that you start to put things in place in your business that you never thought of before, and you'll start to see fruit. All right. But one of the things that's really important is that you invest at a high level for the yield that you want. All right. And you guys got to stop shortcutting the shortcut. I mean, things are already laid out. Yeah. You know what? And the reality is, hey, Kizzy, you are here. Good to see you. You know what? You guys are something else. And I just want to say for a second, you know what? My clients, they are awesome. I just love you guys. I'm going to try not to cry. Let me just get through the scope because you guys, what a beautiful, oh my goodness, what a beautiful anniversary message from you guys. I could not believe it. Pat and I could not believe that you guys are so loving and so kind to send that beautiful message to us. I couldn't believe it. With Lionel Richie music and all, and Jason, I'm like, oh my goodness, I just work with incredible, amazing beings, right? What? I couldn't believe it, Jason. I didn't know anybody would do that. I didn't know it. I did not know that. And I just want to say thank you so much because it meant so much to us. And it's so touching, how thoughtful, how amazing. Just amazing. I appreciate you guys. You know what? I love you and I appreciate you and I really do. And I thank you so much, right? I just appreciate you guys. I really do. I really do. I thank God for you. And I do. And I'll do whatever I can to support you guys. You know this. All right. I know. I love you guys. So now, what was I talking about? Don't shortcut the shortcut. Okay. All right. So no investment equals slow yield. All right. Shayla, I'm trying to get on track. Okay. No investment equals no yield. All right. And that's the reality. So I don't know what you're trying to do to create a yield, but you gotta invest. All right. Number 6, What you need to let go of in 2016 are relationships that don't affirm, strengthen, or make you better. So you need to let go. You got to let go of those relationships that don't affirm, strengthen, or make you better. Yeah, I have my contacts in. I wouldn't be able to see you, Shirley. Let me just tell you, I don't know what was happening the other night. Relationships that don't affirm you, okay, that don't strengthen you, and that don't make you better. You got to let those go. All right. And for those of you who've been trying to resuscitate relationships that don't do anything for you, got to let them go in 2016. All right. Because the reason you have to let them go is because they're like an anchor. All right. It's an anchor, and that they're taking up room, right, in your life. And you could have different relationships replace those, and that are abundant, that are just waiting for you. But because heavy relationships take up so much room, you don't even have room for people who want to love on you, who want to, support you, who want to help you, who are your next accountability partner, because you're holding on to these people who don't affirm you, who don't strengthen you, who don't make you better. And your relationships really should do that. And if you have relationships and you can think right now, people like that, some people you can't let go. That's right, Kizzy. Some people you can't let go because maybe you're related to them, right? Like you have to see them. But you need to set up a system with boundaries when you're dealing with people like that. And you got to make a decision this upcoming year to be strategic about protecting yourself, right? That's right. You got to set up boundaries around that because they're getting in your way, all right? And it's important. The other thing that you need to let go of in 2016 are shoulds and oughts. Yeah, shoulds and oughts. I should do this. I ought to do this. The question is why? Why? Okay. Yeah, everybody, the in-law book. Yeah. That's right. Shoulds. Tom, you got me laughing. Okay. Shoulds or oughts. The question is, the things that you want to do, you want to do those. There are no shoulds. There are no oughts, right? You don't have to do things just because of other people, imposing things on you, or you're trying to keep up appearances. All of that is illusion. You know what? One of the most liberating things for myself was shoulds and oughts. They are just not real. And I decided that I wasn't going to live by that anymore. The things that I'm called to do, I do. And the things that I don't want to do, I don't do those things anymore. And I don't live by shoulds and oughts, because one of the things I learned was that, one, it was illusion. And I had made this whole story up about why I ought to do this, right? Like a good daughter-in-law ought to ... I had all of these rules around these things, and none of it was based in anything that was real. Good relationships require respect, trust, honesty, transparency, definitely. There's alignment, that God shows up in the relationships, and the whole notion of shoulds and oughts, when things are not in alignment, sometimes you need to just take a minute. You got to just move on. All right. And I had to learn that. I had to grow to that. But you need to leave that in 2016. Your shoulds and your ought list, just let it go. All right. It's so liberating. It's so free when you just like, I don't need to do that. You don't have to do that. You can but it takes courage. See, it takes courage to let go of those shoulds and oughts, because truthfully, it's easier to keep up appearances. And you know what I'm talking about. It's easier to do what people want you to do, even though you don't want to do it, right? Because then you don't have to be truthful. But your relationships benefit so much more when you are honest about how you really feel. And then you can really begin to grow in that relationship. I'm just saying, I had to learn that. You know what I mean? I was trying to run around and do shoulds and oughts too, and it just didn't work. It's not a healthy relationship. All right, the next thing is that you need to let go of in 2016 is like not humbling yourself to get the support you need. Is not humbling yourself to get the support that you need. Not humbling yourself to get the support that you need. You guys know what I'm talking about. So like, you will never get what you need acting like you already have it. And a lot of us are walking around like you already have it. Like you're already making it. You're already doing it. And it's because we don't want people to think we're not smart. We're not capable. You know what I mean? We're not successful. All of those things. And as a result of it, you're not humbling yourself And as a result of it, you can't attract what you need. But one of the things that I learned is that there's a power in being able to ask for what you need, and with the right people. All right. And that's why I always recommend, networking with people your ambition level and above, because when you network with people your ambition level and above, and then you then say, listen, what I've been looking for is this, or what I've been struggling for is this or that. Those people are in a position to support you. The reason that you are struggling with humbling yourself right now is maybe the circle that you're around, they're not in a position to support your vision. And so as a result of that, you get judgment. You get some of those lower vibration things. That's why when you start associating with people that are your ambition level and above, they will be in a position, they've been there, right? Try talking to somebody when you're launching something huge in your business and you can't figure out what you need to do, and they already did it. They're going to tell you, like, I felt exactly the same way. They're going to be able to relate to you. Only people that can't relate to where you are people that have never been where you're going. All right. And so sometimes when we're sharing our big dreams with people who are not going where we're trying to go, that's when you're dealing with those lower vibration things. It's very important to associate your ambition level and above. And one of the things that I will tell you that's so important for your growth in this upcoming year is humbling yourself and being able to articulate what you need, and being able to say it out loud. I'm looking for this. I need this. If I had this, and you've got to say it in an audience with people your ambition level and above. See, a lot of you guys, the humbling piece is so important because maybe you're okay networking with people who are your ambition level and below. You see what I'm saying? Because then you come across as a rock star. But we'll see, when you walk into a room and you're networking with people your ambition level and above, you're not the top dog. So it is humbling because you're looking around at people who might be more successful, but they're in a greater position to support your growth. And that's where you need to be in this upcoming year. You need to be in a space where you're not the smartest person, or the most successful. You need to be around people who are in a position to help you. All right. And they will help you because they'll be able to relate more to you because you guys have more in common than the people that are your ambition level and below. All right. And the other thing that you need to let go of in 2016 is, you need to understand you're not an island. You don't have to build your business by yourself. You don't have to do things all alone. All right. People who build successful businesses and even successful lives, it's because they have people in their lives that add value to them. And a lot of you guys, this year was hard for you because you were trying to do it by yourself. You were trying to prove that you could do it. But I'm going to tell you that you don't have to do that by yourself. All right. I mean, when I think about the things that I've launched this year, so many things, man, if I did not have other people to support me, I would not be able to do those things. Because I'm really not very technical, the truth of the matter, not very technical at all. I can hit this go live button, but that's great. But if I didn't have the support that I needed in my business or in my life, I wouldn't be able to move forward and execute my dream. And a lot of you guys, because you're an island, you're trying to be the person up at night, typing all of your, hey there, doll, hey, Sonia. You're trying to be the person, typing all your web copy at night, loading all your programs in your membership site, handling all your invoices, responding to all your email. You're so tired. And the thing that you would be really great at, you can't even really focus at being great at because you're doing too many things. All right. And so one of the things you need to let go of you need to leave it in 2016, right, Jason, is that you can't do it all. See, when I started my business years ago, I didn't have a big budget, but 4 to 6 hours a week is how much I was working. So I hired someone to match my time, to duplicate my time, 4 to 6 hours a week. And I hired a VA, and I figured she could double my time, and it really helped me, right, Shayla, right? Duplicate your time. You got to duplicate yourself. And a lot of us are not doing that. And as a result of it, you're an island. You're trying to do everything all by yourself and you're drowning. And You need to let that go in 2016. You need to let that go in 2016 and, really start to reach out to people that can support you. I've seen it a lot with a lot of my clients who are, even in their marriages and their relationships, they just saw people that did it better. They started reaching out to other folks in our community and saying, can you help me? I saw it with some of my clients who were going through divorce, had gone through it, and it was tough for them. And, they had to reach out to someone and say, help me. I saw it with clients who wanted to figure out how to amp up their parenting. They said, listen, I don't know what I'm like. I need to talk to somebody that's been there, that's done that. And a lot of you guys, you would be so much better off if you just did that. You need to understand you don't need to do this by yourself. All right. And then the last thing that I wanted to say is that you need to leave in 2016. You need to stop wasting time. And so many people are wasting time. What are you wasting time on? You're watching shows that do nothing for you. You know what I mean? You've got more money for Starbucks than investing in your dream. You're wasting time. You should be implementing. Hiring your VA was one of the best decisions. Thought I could afford me advice, right? Well, Shayla, the thing is, advice is only as good as your ability to implement the advice. And you're just one of those amazing people. And your clients, if your clients are listening here, or any of your people that you referred here, you guys need to learn from her because she is an implementer. That's what she does. All right. So it's one thing to hear something that's great. It's another thing to hear it and then run the play. Shayla is a person that runs plays. And you know what? It's going to be interesting to see this time next year, Shayla slaying her 100K because you're already 10% of your goal. All right, more than 10%. You're at 16% of your goal. And how cool is that? All right. How cool is that? All right. How cool is that? All right. So wasting time, so a lot of you guys, every time it comes time to implement your dream and go for it, you're like, how you have to think so long about something that you do nothing. All right. And I know I'm calling some of you guys out, but you think so long about things, you're just wasting time. And while you're spending time thinking, somebody else is spending time implementing and getting things done. I mean, think about it. I think about Shayla. Shayla in the last 5 weeks has been rolling, implementing in her business. I know. Implementing, getting things done in her business, knocking the ball out the park. And as a result of that, she now made $16,000 in 5 weeks, right? Because she wasn't wasting time. She was implementing. And any of you guys that are following Shayla that she invited here, you need to know this about her, okay? That's what she did, all right? Now, she didn't waste time. She didn't say, let me see. I met Shayla, was it 5-6 weeks ago? Shayla saw a scope, said, I'm coming to your retreat, bought a ticket for $400, a VIP ticket, I believe, got a hotel room, booked her flight, made a decision, sat up front. Listen, you can't beat a person like that. Came back, said, I'm going to learn everything I want to learn. She didn't waste any time. She didn't waste any time. She didn't waste her money. That's a tip for those of you who've been buying coaching and not doing anything. You can't beat a person like that. Here's the thing. She comes, she sits on the front row. She learns everything she needs to learn, or at least that was available to her in that moment. Then what does she do? She comes home. She implements. We talk for a minute. Shayla, prices, do this. Shayla, what does Shayla do? She pivots. And a lot of you guys on pivoting, you're wasting time. You're wasting time, and the proof is in the pudding. So you take a woman like that, and her goal is to hit, Shayla was supposed to hit, you're supposed to hit 10K by the end of January 31st, right? So it was a challenge for Shayla to hit 10K, I believe 4 weeks ago, by January 31st, and Shayla hits 16K as of 3 or 4 days ago, 3 days ago or something like that. What you gonna do with that? Now over $17,000 today. So Shayla slays 10K, 17K. What you gonna do with that? But that's because she doesn't waste time. It's a great illustration. You know what I mean? It's a great illustration. And the deal is that same thing is available to every single person. But most people waste time because why? We hem and we haw. And if you're a person that hems and haws, a great book for you to read is Who Moved My Cheese? All right? Who moved my cheese? All right. And if you're hemming and hawing, it's really the reason why. No, yeah. No, you're amazing, Shayla. I respect you tremendously. Who Moved My Cheese is a great book for those of you who are hemming and haw, because that you're wasting time. All right. And the time you could be spending implementing, you find that you mull things over. You're thinking so much, you're doing very little acting in the direction of where you want to go. And that's what I wanted to share with you guys today. What you need to let go of in 2016. One, believing that your success requires perfection. Two, wanting people to convince you to be successful. Thank you, Jason. You want somebody to convince you to do what you need to do? Please, people are busy. Give me a break. Number three, low vibration. Caught up in pettiness, insecurity. You can't take feedback, you know what I mean? Or watch other people be great. It makes you uncomfortable. As a result of it, you've got judgment around it. Number four, thank you so much. Number four, believing that building your business is like a job is where it's at. It is not. Freedom is where it's at. Number five, you know what? You're attracted to bad advice, all right? Because it allows you to feel safe, because it acknowledges your fears and your lack, and you don't understand you need to buy your solution. Let that go. In 2016, number six, trying to shortcut the shortcut. If you're not willing to invest, there's not going to be a yield. Or if there is, it's going to be a slow yield. Just my opinion. Number seven, relationships that don't affirm, strengthen, or make you better. You need to let those go, okay? All right. Number eight, shoulds and oughts are not real. Or how to win friends and influence people. How to win friends and influence people. All right. How to win friends and influence people. All right. Number nine, humbling yourself to get the support you need. You need to humble yourself. All right. You know what? You don't want to be the smartest person in the room, but sometimes you're going to feel a certain kind of way when you're around people who have done things that you want to do. Get around those people. Hang around those people. Learn to be comfortable being uncomfortable around people who are in a position to help you. All right. Number 10, you need to let go of being the island, trying to do things all by yourself. That's not where it's at. And number 11, wasting time, your time, wasting somebody else's time. Let me tell you, when you have the opportunity to be around people who are in a position to support you in your dream, don't waste their time. All right. Like, are you kidding? Right. And don't waste your own time. All right. By not implementing, knowing what to do and not doing it over and over again. All right. So that's what I wanted to share with you guys today. And I want to open the floor for those of you who are here. Maybe you have some questions. I'm Mia Redrick. I'm the mom strategist. I support clients with life and business success. You can always check me out at miaredrick.com and sign up for my list right there. If you haven't done so, you should. Thanks so much. Did this scope change your life, EJ? Is it EJ Evangeline? EJ Evangeline, right? So I'm so glad that you love this scope. Awesome. I'm so glad you loved it because it's from my heart. Thank you so much, Shayla, for putting that there. Are there any questions for me? If you guys are interested in how you can work with me, you've got a couple simple ways. One, check my bio out here on Periscope. Just hit those 3 dots. It'll take you. You'll get an option to go to my bio. You'll see 2 links. One is a questionnaire that you can fill out if you want to book a 20-minute consult with me. Thank you so much. I'm always straight. All right. Number 2 is you can see a number of different options of different products that you can work with me at miaredrick.com/3568. Here's the skinny. One, I have something called Scope School. Thank you, Jason. Scope School is phenomenal. It's scopes just like this. We've got over 410 scopes in Scope School. When you sign up, you get 250 right away. You get to choose your own coaching journey, and it's no long-term commitment, just $147 a month. Scope School is phenomenal, if I say so myself, life, business, and mindset scopes. So if you like these kind of teachings, in essence, that's what it is. They're phenomenal scopes, all right? So my only goal is to support you with so much value that long-term you'll want to work with me one-to-one or in my Core Mom coaching program. Yes, I have a question. When you know you need to outsource, how do you decide what is the priority? That's a great question, Michelle. Okay, so one of the things that I like to do is when I'm outsourcing, I first look at what is it that, like if I build my business like a big business? So a great question to ask yourself is, if you were Bill Gates, right, what would you do, like, to manage your business? What would you do? What kind of departments would you set up? And you might say, I would have a graphic department. I'd have an accounting department. I'd have a copywriting department. And I start writing down all of these different departments that I would have within my company. All right. And then I prioritize them based on what I have going on. All right. So in essence, I do an inventory assessment based on what I'm working on and what would really support me based on what my weaknesses are. So I'm not really great I'm not technical. So I always need to have technical people around me. Because I can't design a website or load things in that way. That's not my strength. All right. The other thing is, if I have a lot of content. So I need to have some people that can grab my content and load it in different places for me. And that's not a strength of mine. So I'm always thinking about the tech support team that I need to be able to have do that. I'm always thinking about copywriters or graphic design people because I don't know how to do any of those things. So in essence, to answer your question, I think about where my strength deficit is. What are the deficits of my strengths, if that makes sense? Okay. And as a result of that, that's how I decide who I'm going to hire. And then I just prioritize them based on what I'm working on. But the other thing that I will say that when you're first getting started, Michelle, that I've always done is I always hired a VA right away. And that VA was going to be able to work on the platforms for me that I naturally had. So if I had WordPress, or if I was using some membership site, or if I needed HTML as a platform for my website or something like that, whatever I was working on already, I was going to hire a VA that could work on the platforms that I already had, so that I did not have to work on those things. Because the way I make my money and the way you make your money is getting in front of your customer, right? Either marketing to your customer and selling to your customer, or servicing your customer. So I wanted to save my activities for those kind of big actions, right, that really make a difference in my company that nobody else on my team at the moment could do, right? You could hire people to do sales, but initially, likely you're the person talking to the client. So I always hired people that could do things that I did not need to do, right? Loading something to my website, I don't need to do that. But then I would look at what platform am I using. If I'm using WordPress, then I'm going to do a job description, Michelle, so that I could get somebody that knows WordPress. If I'm using Kajabi, I'm going to get a job description, WordPress and Kajabi. If I need them to use Free Conference, WordPress, Free Conference, Kajabi, whatever it is that I'm using, whatever platforms I'm using, that's how I'm going to outsource and get my first VA. From there, I begin to build up my departments based on my strength deficits. And literally, I start thinking about, I'm not good at that, but I need somebody that's good at that. I need this kind of department. I need this kind of department. And that's how I outsource. The other thing I will say to you is that there's a difference between outsourcing and outtasking. Outsourcing is hiring someone for a long-term solution. Outtasking is hiring someone to do something for you in the short term. I've always hired people for outsourcing for the long term. You're going to get better rates. You're going to be able to build your business like a big business versus working with someone and you have to keep training somebody over and over again. Most of my VAs, they've been with me 5 years to 8 years until they move on. Okay. All right. Okay. All right. You're welcome. All right. Awesome. All right. Are there any other questions? So if you're interested in working with me, your other option is when you have Scope School, 250 scopes, you get one live Q&A with me starting January on Facebook Live. And then we also add new scopes every single week. We add new scopes. So it's kind of really cool way for me to be able to support my community and allow you to choose your own coaching journey. One, which a lot of people like, and one-to-one coaching starts at $4,800 for a bundle of 5 hours. Okay. Do you recommend becoming an LLC for those starting out? I'm not an attorney. So what I do recommend is that you talk to either your accountant or your attorney about what entity would be best for you and your business. All right. But my business is an LLC. All right, Tommy. So my business is an LLC, but I recommend that you speak to either your accountant or your attorney about what's best for you. All right. And so I just want to be honest about that. All right. So You're welcome. The next option is one-to-one. You get a 5-hour bundle for $4,800. That's the most inexpensive option, where I can support you in coming up with your products and your programs, how get your pricing right, building your models and your infrastructure for your business. And a lot of people like that. So a lot of my clients, love a one-to-one option. And I love it too. And then also you have another option, which is Core Moms Coaching, which is my baby. My 12-month coaching program is phenomenal. And yeah, you love right? That's right, Jason. You are a one-to-one coaching client. It is awesome. Now, is it what you thought? The one-to-one, is it what you thought, right? Yeah, Core Moms is 12 months. And it's a life call each month, a business call each month, and an open Q&A every month. And so it's a 3-hour commitment each month. The business calls are how to create product, how to monetize your product, how to outsource. Literally, I show you how to outsource, right? Right. It's better than you thought. I know. It's never really what you think, because what I do is support you with building the business. Now, Jason is an incredible health coach. And for those of you who have health coaching, if you've got some health goals in this upcoming year, you need to be following Jason, because that's what he does. He's got some incredible programs to support you with weight loss, keeping it off, and creating better gut health, right? So but what I love is supporting him with building the, Shayla, you need to check him out, building the business, how to set the business up properly, all right? And a lot of my clients, when they come initially, they think, it's all around like, hitting the goal of 6 figures or 7 figures or whatever they want to hit. But if your business is not set up for the growth you want, then I already know that it's going to impede you. So I really work with my clients and supporting them and building their packages, but also setting up a profitable business the right way. All right. So that's what I'm really excited about. And so that it's free. So you can be free. Right? Because Jason's going to live in Jamaica in September. And so one of the things we're working on is his goal is to be free. All right. To set this business up properly. All right. So Core Moms is a 1-hour business call and a 1-hour life call, how to set boundaries, making sure that you are valuing yourself properly, so that, that if your prices are too low, often it's because you don't value yourself in your life. And so I like to look at life coaching as well as your business coaching to set the business up. Business pieces, how to get media, how to position yourself as an expert, how to monetize your products, how to create collaborations to be able to really create profit in your business. So there's a lot that I teach my clients over the course of 12 months, and everything that I teach them, I've done personally. So none of it I make up at all. All right. So that's really cool. And then I also assign you to accountability partners. That's what people really like. So your ambition level and above to hold you accountable. So I know that you'll do your homework. A lot of my clients become great friends after the Core Moms coaching program, or as a result of being Core Moms, because of the level of accountability. So it's a great program and I love it. People get results. All my clients create product, and that's just the reality. That's just the basic. All right. Are there any final questions or comments for me before I sign off? If you're interested in any of my programs, you just go to my bio on Periscope, take a look. Yeah, thank you so much. It is a great community. Great people. I only work with great people. So that's what's really cool. All right. I know. Happy New Year. I can't even believe it. So it's amazing. The new year is here. Thank you so much. You guys are the best, Kizzy. You're awesome. Are you liking Scope School, Kizzy? Are you liking Scope School? All right. So if there are not any questions, then I'm going to sign off. Awesome. Then I'm going to sign off. Thank you. Thankful for you too, Tommy. You guys are great. Ruby, thank you so much. All right. You can always email me. Thank you, Shayla, for putting that there. me@findingdefinitions.com. If you have any questions, I'm happy to answer those as it relates to coaching. Otherwise, just check my bio out here on Periscope. I look forward to talking to you guys soon. I love you and have a great and amazing night. Happy New Year, everybody. I know. Bye, guys. Good night.